Cheers, my friends.
Started from the bottom of the map, moved to the shot like 5th grade, running like the water from the tap, move with a mind like switchblades. I ain't never been the type of nigga that'll change the fame, you can put it in quotes. Been down the ride for my niggas had pegs on a mongoose sitting on spokes, handcuffs sitting on a peanut butter loaf, living on the rim of the glass of the water. Don't you see that people out here pimping your hope, living on a whim, lower class getting slaughtered, killed. Niggas in the street on a pipe, no kill. It's a skirt, motherfucker, you know it. Pulling triggers to the beat, taking lives, no guilt. Got the summer feeling like it's snowing. Cold, shoulders, murders, votes, damn. You can tell these niggas need a drink. Sun get hotter, streets get colder, damn. You can tell these niggas need a drink. Spit his flow like it's coming up the sink. And the shit hot like it's coming in the mink. Never dumb it down, make a dumb nigga think. Ginger in the tea, make a dumb nigga drink. Good for your heart, it was good for your soul. If you gripping that iron, and I'm dropping that zinc. Gotta move smart, I done learned from the dope. Just what I'm gonna do with the coke and the ink. Like, whoa, no. They locked a nigga up for smoking purple. I'm free, I'm screaming, free my niggas to the world.
Hello! Hello! Howdy. I am wearing 100 shirts. What you guys don't understand is that over the past year, I have secretly been starving myself. Underneath the skeletal frame that I have left is a fraction of what a regular person would be. And then on top of that, I am wearing 100 shirts to puff this up to the normal size. I can't show you, that'd be dangerous, but there's 99 shirts under here.
I'm screaming, free my niggas to the world. Save money, she gonna do it for the free. She gonna do it for the free.
How thin are the shirts? Microscopically. I had to go to fucking Uzbekistan to get them made, custom. The thinnest shirt you can think of.
Reservations with a Navajo. Indian and her family like a Navajo.
Hello! Special bar and dozy. TMC, serve window. Did you just fake drinking with the label out? What do you mean? Do you think I faked drinking this delicious can of mountain water liquid death? Oh, that's refreshing. My God. And recyclable? No, I didn't do that. Where's my thing? I don't have a hickey on my neck. It's probably a shave when I was shaving.
Here we go now.
On the mic. No, it's not. That's not a hickey. Hello! Speedrun Hitman again, please. Why don't you speedrun it for us? Huh? Harry ZZ Top? Why don't you fucking speedrun it for our entertainment? We'll all sit here and watch. All right? Do a really good speedrun and then send us the video so we can watch it. How long did you have that liquid death marinate for? What is that? What do you say? Well, how do you marinate spring water? That doesn't make sense to me. Chat, what was that Mick Jenkins song? It was called God's Plan, and it wasn't by Mick Jenkins. That's a common misconception. It was by Canadian recording artist Aubrey Graham, aka Drake. That is the name of that song. Hey, Big A, if you only had a mustache, you would look like a dad from Inside Out. Dad Inside Out. I can't quite remember what he looked like. Okay. I can see it. I mean, yeah, all right. But it's a little off. Have you seen that image of him in his underwear? It's crazy. Why are you Googling dad inside out underwear image? Huh? Why are you doing that? What is that use of your time? Atrioc, can you react to this message and chat. Can you all? No, I'm not going to do that. You have not earned it. I've been seeing more and more ads on Twitch that are gamers, and I find them super cringe, but I'm wondering if they actually work. Can you share one with me? To me, gamer ads are the most fun to make fun of. I love making fun of gamer ads. I like when marketers try to get us, you know? The State Farm ones? Maybe we've seen them. I'm not sure. Yo! Hey, Sergeant, favorite day of the week. Can we talk about home economics and women's issues? One of these Saturdays for Women's History Month? Maybe. Maybe if you put in a entertaining YouTube video, all right? But this is not, I'm not talking about these things. We're watching these things. Can there be like one fist fight at the beginning and end? Hey, Truck, I've been working at a horse track, and it's amazing watching how much money people throw at bets that will never land. That's because they haven't hit yet, you idiot. You are like a person. They're the Wright brothers, and you're the guy that's like, oh, flying. It'll never work. It'll never, ever work. I've seen everyone try, and no one can fly. Finally, someone will. Do you understand? Okay? When you bet on the last place horse with all of your life savings, 1 in a billion times that horse is going to speed up and win the whole race. It's simple math. Hey, Truck, I've been working at a horse track. All these fucking guys keep riding me, nay. Very good. Jolly good, royalty. Jolly good. God, is that a rush? Is that better than fucking crack cocaine royalty when you drop such a heater and everyone I can't and you get a VIP? Is that a fucking dopamine? Big. I've been working on the railroad all over. Yeah. Anyway, telling the girl at the bar about this moment, like. So there I was in chat, right? No, wait, listen. There I was in chat, and I dropped this absolute heater about a horse at the track. He was doing a thing about track betting, and then I came in with the horse, and I said nay. And let me tell you, the chat. No, you have to understand the chat. Sorry, where are you going? 2 for 1 paninis. What's up? Big hitter. Thank you for the 21 months. The Inside Man. They have the 22 months. Fizz Open. They have the 32 months. Can I get a Gamba coin flip for 32 months? Okay, deal. How do I do this? I don't know how to do Gamba. First time chatter. L mustache. First time chatter. That's your first. You don't even ever been here before. You've never said one other message in your entire life. You've decided to come in here and comment on my mustache. Is it a problem? What brought you here? I guess I would say what caused you to stop in? The reason, if you must know, that I'm wearing this stash is because yesterday I watched. I'll tell you exactly why I'm wearing it. It is because I watched. God, I don't have a. Mission Impossible Fallout as part of my continued thing to watch all the Mission Impossible films. And I said, damn, Henry Cavill, that's a good mustache. My God, dude. And he was doing the, I rarely see the mustache when you keep the, and I was like, damn, this guy knows what he's doing. And so I was like, well, when I trim my beard today, I'm just not going to trim this stack. I'm going to see what happens. This is unironically. I keep it a fucking stack. And man, he pulls it off in that movie. Let me tell you. There's also a part in the movie, which I don't know if you've seen, where he cocks his muscles like they're guns. It's very funny. And then he beats the shit out of someone. It's really, it's a fantastic. I'll be honest with you. This is my newest. I'm a man who changes his take sometimes once I receive new information. I have often, for the longest time in my life, said the best Mission Impossible is Mission Impossible 1. I've said that because it's got the most, I don't know, thriller, real, non-popcorn type energy. I've always thought it was the best. Mission Impossible Fallout is the best Mission Impossible of the whole series. I think it is the best. I think it clears. I think there's many of them that are good upon rewatch. I love 4 a lot. But I actually think Fallout is the best. I think overall, top to bottom. And so, yeah, I've changed my opinion. That mustache looks good. I know I should get one, but the facial hair is so annoying. You know that you should get one? What do you mean? Like that, like you have a... It's all a choice, right? You could buy one, yeah. Buy one of the fake ones and put it on. Philip Seymour Hoffman clears as a villain? Perhaps. He does do a good job, but the movie itself is nowhere near. I believe they shouldn't call it Mission Impossible if they complete the mission every time. You're right. I can't argue with that. In fact, I have been writing my script for this video, and it's like, you know what? There's a point to what you're saying. The missions have never, not once, been impossible. It's just poorly named. It's Mission Improbable at best. But the missions are doable, and they do get done. Big A, if you want to check out another criminal, you could check out Verstappen, who was one of the biggest Dutch criminals in 2021. Are you talking about Max Verstappen? And this crime of stealing all the Formula One trophies? Never. Oh, my friend lost his college. Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. We're having a good time here. Your friend lost his college fund of $20,000 trading options. And now I feel bad because I showed him my wins in the beginning. What you want to just dump that on us? Some dude's life is dramatically ruined. It's not your. I don't blame you for showing him your wins. If anything, you're gonna fall into this same problem because the way you're writing this message makes it seem like you think you're good at it and he was bad. The way you're writing this message is from like a submission of like, oh, I'm good. I had wins. You will also lose your money, and then it's gonna. You understand? So, but the thing is, what do they call it in gambling? Not pot control. What do they call it? Bet sizing. What do they call what? The idea that the real error there is putting $20,000 up. You know what I'm saying? It's bankroll. It's bankroll control. Yeah, controlling your keep it small. Keep the gambling stuff you're doing very small percentage of your bankroll, of your net worth. That way, worst that can happen is you're not wiped out. Why does it sound like there's a Minecraft chicken in your room? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to look you dead in the eye and I'll tell you the truth. I would never lie to you. I have successfully brought Minecraft creatures into the real world. After years of experimentation, I have created a portal almost to the Nether. But in this case, the Nether is the world of Minecraft. And through that portal walks in and out villagers, spiders sometimes, chickens, iron golems, and so far it is one of the greatest scientific breakthroughs this world has ever seen, and I'm keeping it right there off camera. Oh, did you hear that villager? What the hell? Did you hear that? He's talking to me. He wants to trade. I know he's joking, but I want that so badly. Bro, dream smaller. If a guy say, is that mean to say? Dream smaller. There's not going to be built a fucking portal to the Minecraft world. So dream smaller. Also, sorry to get realistic. Sorry to be Neil deGrasse Tyson here. But I think there's a good chance that upon you walking through that portal into the Minecraft world, your organs just fuck up. I mean, everything's blocky there. Everything you're like turn into a square and then die. It would just nothing would work. Gimme! Oh, I need to play this song because it's been stuck in my head. I need to play this song. Okay, I want to do the chorus. What a banger. What a fucking banger, dude. What a fucking banger! Alerts! How do you look like my dad? This is an awkward conversation. How do I explain this? How do I explain this? It was a long time ago. Your mother is a very sweet lady, is what I will say. And I hope you have had a full and powerful life. From your time at ASU, what was your best memory or anything that you wish you knew? Oh my God. There was this one time when my jungler pinged bot lane and I looped down from mid lane, dodging the vision of the mid tower, and we both came in at the same time. Their jungler was there. We won 4v3 and we got... we like started, every lane started winning. People were communicating. I made 12 points off that game. No, I have a lot of good memories from ASU. I mean, it's 4 years trying to sum up. I don't know. I've told many of the stories. I think the dancing story is very funny if you want to go watch it. And also I had a really good time when I studied abroad in Korea. I'm sorry, would you say you were going to ASU? Have a good time. You'll have fun. How are your roommates? I do. If I tell a story, I had when I was here, it's like this. Pull it up. Gimme a man after midnight. Want someone at the end of the day. Gimme a man after midnight. Look, imagine this is my dorm, right? So the dorms were like this. It was 4 to the dorm. So it's like person 1 here, person 2 here, person 3 here, person 4 here. This is a bathroom. Okay? It was like an H. This is the dorm. And so you're sharing with I was 3. I was sharing with this guy in 4, and we had a real bond. Okay, we became fast friends. These guys were a little bit different, and we didn't like them as much. So even though they were our roommates, we didn't get along as well with these guys. But it was fine, it was okay. We just didn't hang out as much. We didn't like whatever. Anyway, this is a long setup for a story. That one day, I think I came back to the dorm kind of late, and 4 wasn't here, and 1 wasn't here, and I thought number 2 wasn't here. So I'm just sitting around, and then I walk into the bathroom, and number 2 is in there completely naked. Not really sure why. And I don't really want to get too crazy of an image here. No, he's not. I mean, to my, how do I say? I'm just gonna keep it classy, okay? He's not erect, okay? So he's not jerking off, but he is completely naked, and he he sees me and he's shocked. I mean, again, he could have been, I don't know, he could have been shaving, he could have been getting ready to take a shower. I don't know. I've never followed up on this. But I come in there and I'm looking at him just dead on, fully naked. All right. And instead of covering himself up or saying something, or us just two being, you know, young adult men being like, all right, what up, bro? You know, I'm okay. We both kind of freeze and I'm looking at him and then he puts his hands up and like starts jumping. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And like jumps, like bunny hops backwards out of the room, which again causes everything to bounce. This is very odd. I want you to know this is very odd. This is not like a normal response. So it's all helicoptering, you know? And that is essentially it. I mean, he backwards long jumped out of the room. I said, sorry, bro, and I shut the door. But, you know, it stuck with me. I told, again, number 4 about it. We laughed about it for a lot of time because it was very odd. And the mating dance. Should have stripped 2 for dominance. I don't feel like I had the underhand in that situation. Number 1, I heard about this but wasn't there for this, thankfully. Again, number 4 told me about this. Number 1 apparently would get hammered the most. This guy was a real drinker, like a real bad drinker. He didn't go to class. Again, freshman year, I didn't play League of Legends yet. So this story's from freshman year before I even was really in the league. Back when I was trying to like be social. This guy drank a lot, and apparently he shit in the shower right here. He came back drunk one day. Shit in the shower caused a lot of disgusting, and this was a big thing to deal with and very nasty. Very, very nasty. So, no, I don't think he did a shower stomp. I don't think he mogged anyone with that. I think it was really disgusting, but he did do that. And both those guys, I'm sure are, oh, wait, last thing. Number 4 here. The guy I was close with, he was a mechanical engineer for all of freshman year. Okay? And he fucking hated it. He fucking hated it. Just absolutely hated it. This dude, I'm going to be honest with you, more Henry Cavill-like than me by a lot. He's a bigger guy. He is fit. He was really fit, you know. Man, just a good guy, you know. But he would sit there studying over his notes and just fucking wanting to kill himself all day. And so by the end of freshman year, I think at the beginning of sophomore year, he switched to what is it? What is the, like, if you want to be a trainer at a gym, what is that called? Life science? What is it? What is kinesiology, maybe. Kinesiology. Yeah, kinesiology. He switched to that. And I will say this. I don't know how it all ended out for him, but he was already a fit guy. He got way fitter, which, I mean, I think by sophomore year, when we no longer lived together, dude was probably one of the fucking most chatted up guys at ASU. I swear to God, that guy was fucking ripped. And he seemed happier. He seemed a lot happier. We hung out obviously less after sophomore year because I got super into League of Legends. But we hung out. And so I think it worked out for him. I don't know how it worked out with all the money because I know mechanical engineering is pretty good. But, you know, he's a lot happier. So good for him. Pokemon? Wait, it's not called Pokemon. Oh, I get it because of a gym. Yeah. Hey, Big A, would you really... I don't have the little do you know button on my soundboard. And if I do, I don't have it labeled. I have this one.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's a Spectacore freaking out. So, yeah, my thing... This isn't updated. Like, it doesn't have all the shit that it should have, is what I'll be honest with you. Today, we are going to do Get Smarter Saturdays and improve our IQ by millions of points. Leaps and bounds. It's going to be awesome. We are all going to emerge from this smarter. It's like a butterfly entering a second cocoon to become a bigger and stronger butterfly with chainsaw arms or something, okay? It's like you're already there, and we're going to get farther. Before we do that, I do think I would like to do some motherfucking dailies or something. I want to do like Time Guesser. Just as a vibe check, right? Because I'm going to also watch the house finale today. So I'm going to see what the fuck Time Guesser has got for me. Suspicious site blocked? Time Guesser? Oh, it's spelled with... gimme. Oh, my paint finally opened. I was just waiting for that. Oh, a man after... All right, daily. What do we got here? Oh my God, this was my fucking 40th birthday party. We got wild, we got wet, we got crazy, we got drunk, dude. This was a fucking good time. Wait, can I have a little background music? I can't find it. I don't know. This is clearly from way back in the day. I don't know fucking when. I mean, it's technically, I want to know when the photo of this photo was taken. Am I right? This is a photo of a photo. So, I don't know. I don't really know. I'm gonna say, you know, California used to have a really good cable car. I'm going to say, is this crazy to think this could be LA? Am I fucking smoking reefer for this? As far as I know, LA, when it was first built, had like a lot of great public transport that was quickly eroded. Could also be SF. But I don't know. It's like these people are so... This could also be, that's probably, maybe it's so old it has to be, I don't know. I'm actually a little bit blanking on this. I'm going to take oh, you know what it is? It's fucking Detroit. It's fucking Detroit. Detroit, Motor City, baby. Okay, let's go to Detroit. Detroit, in the year, I'm going to go back to the 1920s, 1922. Make guess. 1925, 2.1 kilometers, 9.5K, slam dunk, baby. Did you take that picture? I did. I took this picture at my party. That's why I remember it. Okay, another old one, huh? You are the message. Implies English. This is not an English-speaking country, I think, based on the background. What are we, this is an average European fucking country today. That's their fucking prime minister, probably. And that's my chatter on his way to type a fucking 900-page novel by Reddit. Okay? This is the exact fucking photo. Now, I am going to find that this is clearly, I want to say Norway. Let's say Oslo in the 60s or 70s. It's got a hippie vibe. 1969 Oslo. 1970 in Copenhagen. Not bad. And I'm going to Copenhagen soon, so I will get the message right. Not bad, though. Not bad. Actually, not bad. 8.9K. All right, continue. Oh, this is... Huh. Am I incorrect in assuming that is Vietnamese? I'm getting a Vietnam vibe, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Tough to say. Tough to say for me. Trying to read off this. Again, I'm getting a Vietnam vibe. I have to trust my gut. No chat. Hell, you can say whatever you want because I'm not looking at chat, by the way. I'm not going to do it on my own. Could be really stupid. This could be like more of a, I don't know, a China thing, but I Based on what I'm seeing, I'm going to go for Vietnam. Maybe like near. Whoa, what about this? What about like Hanoi? Hanoi in the fucking 80s. Hanoi in 83. 69. Fuck. However, it was Vietnam. It was Vietnam. So I got half points. Thank God. Okay. The 80s was a bit of a... I was smoking fucking crack crystals, dude. It actually doesn't make sense the 80s the more I look at it. In fact, if I were to really pin this down, I think it looks like 1969. All right, that's fine. That's fine. It could have been a very, very old truck from the 80s. You know, there were people who didn't. I think sometimes when I think of perhaps poverty, I am predating it. Okay. Last one. No, 4 out of 5. We have, again, some Europeans. You can just tell. They give off that energy. You'll never find someone making this face outside of Europe. I'll tell you that right now. This guy probably runs a bank in Europe. Drives a fucking Audi, okay? This guy for sure. No, what can I... Maybe he runs Ulster Bank. What is going to give me the country? This gives me something. I actually don't know. Is that like Poland or something? This is relevant, but I don't have it memorized. Could be Ireland, but they are doing St. Patrick's Day. Could be Ireland, but people celebrate this anywhere. Like this could be fucking, unless they're trying to say that it has to be. I feel like in Ireland they'd go bigger. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Like this is all they're doing in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day? There's a bigger one down the street here. Could be Ireland. Do I just say Dublin in 2002 and be done with it? This could even be more recent. Do I see a phone? Not a phone in sight. Not a phone in sight. It's pre-2010. Okay, that's all I can tell you is that there's not a single phone. Wow, people used to have fun. People used to be real. This is the good old days. Not a phone in sight. This woman is goggled up. Damn, she is ready to face the day. I'll tell you that about her. I don't know. I'm a little thrown here. This could be someone else's, but I'm going to say Dublin. And I'm going to say, crazily enough, I'm going to say 2007. Hit me with it. 2010! And it was Ireland! Yeah! All right, wait, I'm on a fucking crazy streak. Only one of them was a little off. Northern Ireland. All right, well, how I was supposed to know? Is this like, everyone in Ireland knows that Ulster Bank only operates in the northern side? I don't fucking know, dude. What do you want me to say? If it ain't Dublin, I ain't getting a dub. All right? Now, last one. A true sighting of Bigfoot. The one time he was seen and his swag was too different, they had to kill him. Holy shit, the drip. The fucking bandolier strap. The fucking well-manicured hair. The motorcycle with his bad one. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't have any knowledge of this other than the black and white. There's a freaking huge Schwinn bicycles store, which I think wouldn't exist anymore. There's Peter Pan Beauty. I don't fucking know. This is a tough one. I want to say, damn, I feel like I want to say almost the 50s. The quality is so high, though. I don't know. It's tough. It just throws me off. And as for where, this could be anywhere in America. This could be anywhere in America, bro. My clues are so little. I'm going to guess. I'm just going to go with my gut here. I'm just going to follow my heart because I already have a lot of points. I'm going to say this is fucking St. Louis. No. This is Columbus, Ohio. No. This is fucking Dayton, Ohio. This is Dayton, Ohio in the Maybe the motorcycle is a little more modern than I thought. But the cars are so 50s. 1961 in Dayton. Jesus Christ, it was LA in 67. Oh, a costume. A costume. Oh, it's a costume. This is not the real Bigfoot. Wait, this is not. Oh, my goodness. Oh. It wasn't Ohio. Time Guesser never goes to Ohio. That's probably true. Well, the year wasn't bad. I will say that. I guess I could have thought of it. I really thought he was real. I'll be honest with you. I really thought he was real. What are you going to do? It is, I guess, makes sense that the costume is so good it must be a cast member. But, like, someone could wear this anywhere. I also think it's pretty LA type, weather looking. That's how they get you. Anyway, final score. We'll set a tally. 36K out of 36.7. We'll round it up to 45. 45K out of 50K is pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good, bro. Tomorrow, if I do this again, no, I'm not live tomorrow, but on Monday, if I do this again, I'll try to beat 40. That's my goal. My goal, let's beat 40. Hey, Atrioc, you look like Henry Cavill from Mission Impossible Fallout. Really? I've never seen that movie. Wasn't even going for that. Interesting. Thank you so much. Wow. Is that a compliment? I wouldn't even know. That's never something I even was attempting for. NYT Connections? Fuck it, dude. I've never done Connections. I've never, ever done Connections, but I've heard it's fun. Let's see. How to play. Find groups of 4 items that share something in common. Then submit. Each puzzle has 1 solution. Whatever. We'll get to it. Create 4 groups of 4. All right. What things are in common? Obviously, I would say business contract premium and maybe check. Business contract premium. Interesting. How do you confirm it? So if I review, submit. It's wrong? What happens when is it right? Am I right or wrong? What does that mean? Am I locked? Is that good? Wrong. Okay, it doesn't. I only get 3 mistakes. I see. All right. I'm locked in. Wait, shut the fuck up. I'm locked in. Give me some fucking music here. You shook. Stop. Collaborate and listen. We're going to go for premiere, first. No. What about pilot? Pilot, coach. These are all flight related for sure. Pilot, coach. Check your bag. Business class. Premium economy. These all could work. Why is that a problem? What's wrong with that? I'm too scared. I have to nail this. What about review? Dude, this vet, it throws me off. This vet. Where would vet go? What even connect a single word to vet? Vet. Oh, to vet. Maybe not like a veterinarian, shorthand. More like to vet someone. So I could also screen someone. I could also check someone. Vet them, screen them, check them, review them. BAM! I'm cocking my fucking arms like Henry Cavill. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Boom. All right. Now we enter the end game. Now we enter the end game. Me and Moriarty sitting over a chessboard deciding the future of this great battle. And I look down on the chessboard and the first thing I notice is that video gaming has gone woke. They made the female character too strong. Wow. Forcing it in my face. Wow. Oh, I have to play the queen? Wow, she's so strong. That's the first thing I notice. Because I have a deep intelligence. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Let's think. Business. Coach. First. Pilot. These all relate to flying. Premium. Premier. Special. Finale. The only thing that throws me off is finale. Finale is not the same as premium, premier, and special. Premium, premier, special, first could also be this. Business, coach, finale, pilot. No. Business, coach, first, pilot. This is like a flight. Coach, business, first, pilot. That has to be. I submit and I win! Fuck! Oh, I did it. Okay, wait, I did it. Yes! Yes! Clutch! No, I didn't? Wait, am I right or wrong? Oh, it was premium. Just have to ruin this for the VOD frogs real quick. What a heater song. All right, well then, now that we've learned that I need to get smarter, there's only one thing to do, chat. An age-old tradition on this stream, dating back to the time of the Romans. Unauthorized. Says unauthorized when I click it. Gimme. A little thing called Get Smarter Saturdays, where collectively we submit intelligent videos to watch with each other to raise our collective IQ by thousands and thousands of points. Now, wait, why is it so fucking unauthorized? Oh, here it is. We'll head on over to GlizzTube, as Automated called it. And if you drop your link in chat, it'll show up right here. And we'll be able to find what amazing, intelligent video to watch today. There's only 3 rules on a Get Smarter Saturday. Number 1, the video can't be too long. Number 2, the video can't be too boring. And number 3, at the end of the video, we have to have learned something. Like I learned that I love the taste of Sour Patch Kids Extreme. I sound like a drug addict for this, but I swear to God, they lowered the amount of sour on regular Sour Patch Kids, and now the extremes are just what regulars used to be. And so you have to buy extremes to even get the same rush. And pretty soon they're gonna have to release like a fucking double extreme. So let me fucking get through the day. It's sourflation is what it is. It's sourflation. Although I will say they give you a lot in the bag. All right. Ohio's 1986 balloon disaster is only 5 minutes long. 2.4 million views. Coffee Cow bonus times 8. You get a Coffee Cow bonus if multiple people submit the same link. This is a 13-second video of people just using an Apple Vision Pro in a Cybertruck. smarter by knowing how dumb society's getting. How about end of the day? Give me a man after midnight. Want someone who don't. What about the battle for Las Vegas? What about the battle for Las Vegas? This looks interesting. Coffee Cow bonus times 8. Oh, you tricked me. You tricked me. It changed into a hot dog video, how it's made hot dogs, right as I'm about to click it. That's very, very, very funny.
When you visit Las Vegas, you will have the impression that there are countless different hotels and casinos competing for your attention. Consider this area, for example, on the southern edge of the Strip. There's the Excalibur Hotel, which appears as a medieval castle.
Okay.
Then there is the Luxor, with an ancient Egyptian theme, and the Pyramid main building. And there's the Mandalay Bay Resort, which focuses on opulence with its gold-colored glass facade.
I assume they're all owned by the same company?
But anyone who chooses the Luxor Hotel and is roaming through the casino and the various shops might all of a sudden find themselves inside one of the other 2 casinos. That is because all 3 casinos are connected by indoor walkways. And you can stroll back and forth between the hotels without setting a foot outside.
Many times.
A similar walkway can be found between the Horseshoe Hotel, formerly known as the Baileys, and the Paris Hotel, both located roughly in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip. But why do these hotels make it so easy to stroll to their competitors? Wouldn't they do everything to keep you just within their premises?
Sure.
As you probably figured out at this point, both the Horseshoe and the Paris belong to the same parent company, Caesars Entertainment.
Aha!
And the 3 other hotels, Luxor, Mandalay Bay, and Excalibur, also all belong together and are operated by MGM Resorts International. In fact, the probability that...
Can't we just go back to the hotels and casinos in Vegas being controlled by the mob? Why do we have to give it to 2 megacorps, all right? We should have a bunch of individual mobsters that own certain casinos and can literally break my legs if I ever have a winning streak.
That your hotel belongs to one of the 2 companies is fairly high, since more than half of the casinos on the world-famous Strip are now operated by one of these 2 companies.
Jeez.
Now this was not always the case though, as the current situation is the result of a fascinating development, decades of mergers and acquisitions, and to this day, the battle for Las Vegas is still ongoing.
Cool effect. This is really cool. However they made this model.
Let's look back at the year 1989. The year where the Mirage Hotel opened in Las Vegas.
Fantasy becomes reality when the Mirage appears on the Las Vegas Strip.
Old style ads.
At this point in time, tourism growth seemed to have slowed down.
Damn.
For example, it had been a full
Vegas has
16
changed,
years
bro.
since the last new casino hotel opened on the Strip. But the Mirage became an instant success. Also, due to its popular artificial volcano attraction and the hotel's magic show by Siegfried and Roy. It kickstarted an era of construction boom and acquisitions.
Do Zoomers know who Siegfried and Roy are? Because I feel like that was kind of old, even for me. They do? 2, like, well, they weren't gay, but they had like this, energy. And they loved tigers, and then one of them got bit. Did he die? Did he die from a tiger attack, or was just bit? He just got bit. One died during COVID, but not from a tiger. Anyway, they were very famous. Maybe they'll show them.
In 1990, Circus Enterprises opened the aforementioned Excalibur Hotel, with a family-friendly medieval theme.
Immediately, thousands of locals and tourists poured inside, as the Excalibur is aiming their business towards families. While mom and dad gamble upstairs, their kids go downstairs to the arcade.
In 1992, Promus Companies, which already owned the Holiday Inn Hotel, renamed that hotel to Harris.
Train 'em young? Yeah.
In 1993, the city gained an additional 3 casinos.
Dude, it would be funny if the arcade in the basement was just like money free, but still gambling. Like instead of skee ball and shit, it's like slots. Just so you can get the kids ready to do exactly what mom and dad are doing upstairs.
MGM Grand opened, and MGM Grand acquired Mirage Resorts, renaming itself to MGM Mirage.
Now
the competition for supremacy in Las Vegas was in full swing. In 2003, Park Place changed its name to Caesars Entertainment, a more well-known brand.
Okay, well now I actually am seeing that around 2001, one company owned them, so technically they could say Terry Benedict owned MGM Mirage, and I guess it would work. Does track.
Due to the popularity of the Caesars Palace Hotel. With 4 companies competing for supremacy, 2005 would become the year of mega transactions in Las Vegas.
Right before the fucking recession?
MGM Mirage took over Mandalay Resorts and thus bundles all the properties in one single company. It became the largest gaming company in the world.
I did not know all of these were owned by the same company.
However,
to be honest with you.
only for a brief moment in time. Just 2 months later, driven by the knowledge of this merger, Harris Entertainment and Caesars also reconsidered their position and agreed on a deal that allows Harris to take over Caesars Entertainment.
Wait, Harris had one?
Much of the strip was now controlled by these 2 companies. In the same year, Harris also bought the Imperial Palace, a casino that is now known as the Link.
Yes.
They also purchased the Barbary Coast Hotel, now known as the Cromwell. In 2009, MGM Mirage sold the Treasure Island Hotel to businessmen.
Is the Cromwell like a British-themed hotel? Like we have the Paris one and the Roman one and the... Is that what the Cromwell is? Because I would... Is that like beans on toast delivered to your fucking room and... You crom good, but I crom well. All right, that's enough of that.
Phil Ruffin.
That's enough of that.
And opened a giant new complex, the City Center, consisting of a shopping center, residential towers, and various hotels. Harris Entertainment expanded further by purchasing the Planet Hollywood Hotel, and both companies again changed their names. Harris Entertainment reverted back to Caesars Entertainment, and MGM Mirage became MGM Resorts International.
Okay.
2 giants had grown, exercising enormous control over the gambling capital. Today, all these casinos on the south end of the strip are run by...
So this is pretty whack, right? I mean, it's another sign of increasing concentration in our society that leads to monopolies and oligopolies. Because imagine, for example, if you, I don't know, wanted to play at a casino that had good normal odds on roulette. Well, if they're all controlled by the same fucking thing, they're all going to add that third zero, or you know, whatever. Like all this shit will, or if you're an employee, you know, maybe you're a dealer in Vegas, and one place has bad working conditions. Well, you can't go anywhere else, bro. You can't leave. And if you get blackballed by one, you're basically unable to work. You have like fucking one other option in the whole town.
MGM. And the middle of the strip is firmly in the hands of Caesars Entertainment. Only the northern part is characterized by other operators. In total, of the 27 famous casinos here, 17 are operated by MGM or Caesars. Both companies have built customer reward programs that work across all their resorts, so whenever you spend money in one of the casinos belonging to the respective group, you receive points, and depending on the number of points, you are classified in a rewards tier, which is associated with various benefits. A system designed to retain customers and prevent them from going to their competitor.
Right.
But the map as we see it here only tells part of the story. Because if you look at the ownership of prominent resorts...
Has anyone ever gotten comped in gambling? I hear about it all the time, but I can't think I've ever done it. Where like you're winning big, so they give you a free room or some shit, try and get you to... The idea is like, if you are winning big at gambling, they will try to keep you there. So they'll give you a free room or a free dinner or like something to... And the idea is that you go and gamble more than lose it all. I don't think I've gotten comped. I can't think of an example where I've done it. I got comped a lot because I gambled a lot. It's about Didn't Lud get comped? Yeah, Lud got comped not for winning though. Lud got comped because he knew a guy who was connected, and the message goes to the chain that Lud is going to spend a lot of money, and that's why he got a room. He ended up not spending that much money, and then it was a problem. But I don't think he's gotten comped for winning. I could be wrong.
resorts, you will often find that a completely different company name appears. Vici Properties. Vici, as in Veni Vidi Vici, a reference to Caesar. Vici Properties is listed as the owner of the MGM Grand, which is operated by MGM, the direct competitor of Caesars. So what is Vici Properties?
Okay.
While in 2010, MGM and Caesars appeared like strapped giants, behind the scenes, Caesars was crumbling. Amidst all these acquisitions, Caesars...
My first question was like, aren't some of these casinos losing money? Like, does every single one of these in Vegas make money? It can't be true. So my assumption is that, like, you can't just pay whatever to keep acquiring and acquiring and acquiring. Eventually, it's going to fucking... There'll be some bleed.
Caesars Entertainment had undergone a complex transformation itself, as the investment companies Apollo Global Management and Texas Pacific Group jointly took over Caesars Entertainment and privatized the publicly traded company with a leveraged buyout. This means that a large part of the takeover amount is financed by debt, with the assets of Caesars Entertainment acting as security.
You did a huge debt-based buyout in 2006. I hope that doesn't come back to bite you.
Financed by debt, with the assets of Caesars Entertainment acting as security. The $30.7 billion deal was the fourth largest leverage buyout ever at the time. And what followed were controversial restructurings that made creditors feel betrayed, as well as large amounts of debt that had to be managed, all at a time amidst the global financial crisis of 2008 and weakened consumer behavior in the years that followed. The leveraged buyout turned into a disaster.
Breaking overnight, Caesars Entertainment filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
Hoping the court agrees to its plan to get out from under $18.4 billion of debt.
With Caesars Entertainment Operating Company, the largest subsidiary of Caesars, put into Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the company began a more than 2-year-long process of reorganization, and a compromise between creditors and owners was being negotiated. In the end, Caesars creditors acquired approximately 2/3 of Caesars Entertainment, while Apollo and Texas Pacific Group had to reduce their stake in Caesars Entertainment Corporation, initially to 16%, a little later, dropping out completely.
Is this AI? The way these guys talking is very odd. Like an AI script.
Real trick, however, is that Caesars Entertainment was split into two completely separate companies. And this is how Vici Properties was born. A pure real estate company that would simply own the casinos. So while Vici Properties owns the land and buildings of the hotels and is less dependent on the fluctuations of the gambling business, Caesars Entertainment can focus entirely on operations and is lightened of assets. In addition, Vici Properties can benefit from a massive tax break due to the company being a real estate investment trust, also called REIT, which are exempt from federal income tax.
Great.
A similar step also had been taken at MGM Resorts.
To be exempt
this
from tax.
is how MGM Grove Properties was formed, that owns the hotels and leases them back to MGM. By selling the real estate, these operating companies can gain money which they can invest in future growth. Especially important considering the changing gambling market, because while the focus of this video is on the battle over Vegas, these companies are operating nationwide, internationally, and increasingly digital, for example in the growing sports betting business.
Hell yeah!
The local gambling halls had long transformed into major global corporations, as visible by Caesars' revenue breakdown from 2015, at the time of Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which shows that Las Vegas business only accounted for 35% of the company's revenue.
That's huge.
Eldorado Resorts is buying Caesars Entertainment, creating a major casino giant.
The deal is worth $17.3 billion.
With Caesars Entertainment growing even more by merging with Eldorado Resorts, 2022 would see yet another mega transaction that will once again bundle ownership in Vegas, as Vici Properties acquires MGM Grove Properties, giving the company control over a large part of real estate in Las Vegas. The battle for Las Vegas is won on two fronts. While this map, which we looked at earlier, depicts the operating business of the casinos, ownership of the real estate is often in someone else's hands. These are all of the properties on the Strip.
So they're all owned by the same real estate company? That's like everything, bro. That's like fucking everything. Except for this little nook right here.
Are owned by Vici Properties at the time of making this video. Alongside some former Caesars and MGM properties, Vici...
I remember when I was a kid, I played a game called Deus Ex Human Revolution. No, it wasn't even called that. It was called Invisible War. I'm sorry. It was the older one. It was this one with this fucking early 2000s cover. And in this game, it's not a very great game to be honest with you. Deus Ex, the first one's a great game. This is the sequel. It wasn't as good. In this game, the cities are pretty small that you explore, and you like do a little choose your own adventure type, exploration. But every city has two coffee shops. One is called Queequegs, and one of them is called like, I don't know. Queequegs and something. I forget. Anyway, the whole game, Pequods. Queequegs and Pequods. So you're going around and there's two coffee shops and they're always like advertising against each other. And by the end of the game, spoiler, you find out that these two coffee companies that have been like talking shit on each other the entire game, they're owned by the same person. Like the whole, and like when you'll walk through the city, average people will be like, I love Queequegs. I'm a more of a Pequods man. And you find out that it's the same. And for me as a child, that was very eye-opening. I was like, wait, holy fuck. But nowadays, like that That's so common. It's like in real life, that's not a big, like they play it in the game like it's the most crazy fucking evil conspiracy. But like that's not even in real life, in the real world, that's very, very normal. Which is very funny nowadays. But in Invisible War, I thought it was like, holy shit, wait, what? All right, let me watch the end of this. We're at the last part.
She also owns the Venetian Hotel and the land under the T-Mobile Arena. With the real estate business of Vegas now opened up, conventional big players such as the Blackstone Group are investing into the city as well, with purchases such as the Bellagio, the Cosmopolitan, and the Aria and Vidara hotels in City Center. The battle for Las Vegas has fundamentally changed, now split into real estate competition and into the casino operating business. And just like the city never sleeps, the battle is unlikely to ever end. For quite a while, I have been working on an extensive new project. And if you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you would love this.
Sure, maybe. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Very interesting, but I didn't love the way it was presented. Didn't love it, but I learned something for sure. Now let's see what. Let's see. What is on GlizzTube? Okay. Mass hysteria throughout history. Dude, this is gonna be so gross. I'm not gonna watch how it's made hot dogs, bro. The miracle of Pakistani Tekken. Is this hype? I did hear that like this is like a really cool story. The miracle of Pakistani Tekken. Plus, I want some non-business shit for a minute. Let's get some game. All right, cool.
In 2019, Pakistan surprised everyone when they proved they had some of the best Tekken players in the world. Arslan Ash won both EVOs that year, earning himself a Red Bull sponsorship. Atif Butt and Awais Honey would get first and second place respectively at Tokyo Tekken Masters, and Bilal would win the ultra-stacked LCQ event at the TWT Finals. The running joke was that getting past visa issues was harder than winning the tournament itself. The Pakistani passport ranked the 4th lowest for visiting other countries, which is why Arslan Ash famously got stuck in transit for 3 days on his way to winning EVO Japan.
Yes, there was a time when I lose all my hope and I decided to go back home.
So how does Pakistan, a country that doesn't even have official distributors for PlayStation or Xbox, get good enough to beat the best in the world? There's no better way to find out than to actually go there.
This is like out
so I
of
went
nowhere,
to Lahore, which is the second largest city and home to the best fighting gamers in the country. I was warmly greeted by the local commentators, Soul Dragger and Silver Fox, who taught me about the country and the local scene.
Let's go, Gerald. Yeah. You came at the right time. I needed this break.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, we're here.
The first thing to know about Lahore is that it's a center for the arts and culture of the Punjab region, an area that includes eastern Pakistan and northwest India. It's the birthplace for much of the country's filmmaking, literature, and music, so it's no surprise this is where a culture for gaming could grow as well. Lahore is precisely where you'd have a liberal arts university inviting FGC people to provide a guest lecture about Tekken and esports. There is even an open tournament held in the classroom afterwards.
With the university, now they've got multiple events.
Is Pakistan still really good at Tekken? Like right now today? Okay. Like with the new Tekken boom?
So they call it Festival. It was basically a film festival with all of the other stuff, fighting and tournaments as well, alongside all the film competition and sports competition and all that jazz. I think it was pretty sick to be summoned by a university that is basically really art focused.
But to have a culture for gaming, you still need to have games. Pakistan has no official distributor for the most popular consoles, so these consoles and games are imported and sold in the gray market. But imported goods are not cheap, especially when their prices are not adjusted for the country's purchasing power.
If you get a graphics card or a console, it's now considered a luxury item and taxed like that. So PlayStation 5 is probably, it's probably like...
Bro, this would happen at NVIDIA when we would like have a contest or something, and someone would win like a fucking, $2,000 GPU, and if they were in a country, like Pakistan, they would have to pay just to pick up the item a luxury tax that was too high for them to afford. So like they couldn't even. Sometimes we couldn't even send it to them. Like it was pay the luxury tax. I don't fucking control it. It's not my fucking thing. I'm just saying there's a problem that would come up. And also generally, when you're doing a corporate giveaway, they've got your fucking budget down to an exact fucking penny of what you can give out, and you can't just like fucking you can't just fucking pay it, bro. Out of your own pocket. It's not me. All right. I'm just saying this would happen. I think honestly, if I had to remember, they got like something in kind that was easier to transfer, but they couldn't get the actual GPU. But it was, there was gift taxes and there was
$800 here. When I was growing up, I don't remember if there was.
We would send them, I don't remember what it was. We would send them one single kind bar and then a post-it note with a smiley on it. We would say, enjoy this.
Anybody else in my class that would own a console at the time? The price for it is so inflated. It takes a while for it to be accessible to everybody else.
These prices make gaming an extremely expensive hobby, but there is a way for many Pakistani gamers to get video games for free.
Back in those days, I'm sure getting a console for a lot of people was getting it from Saudi Arabia, because a lot of Muslims go to pilgrimage every year.
Saudi Arabia is where the holiest site in Islam is located, the Mecca. Each year, about 1 to 2 million Muslims make a pilgrimage there. The most significant pilgrimage is called the Hajj, which is a religious duty to carry out at least once in a lifetime. Since Pakistan is over 96% Muslim, most people are going to make that trip.
If you're going abroad and you're coming back, it's a custom to bring something for your, especially for the kids, right? And consoles is the easiest no-brainer for any adult who doesn't even, understand what it is. They were readily available and at a good price in Saudi Arabia.
Pakistan inadvertently got introduced to video gaming through a Muslim ritual.
I'm just going to pray my Maghrib prayer. It's the fourth prayer of the day. We pray when the sun goes down. It's been a long time. I haven't prayed here, so let's go. Let's pray.
But the ones who still had no games at home did what everyone else in the world did. Go to the arcades.
Here we go. All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
This is the Level Up Gaming Hub, an arcade which is mostly Tekken with a couple of KOF cabs. There's a lot to soak in here, but the first thing that stood out was this wall of electricity meters in plain sight and these giant batteries on top of the cabinets.
What the fuck?
Pakistan is a country that has historically faced a lot of power issues. There's not a lot of power to go around, which is why we often face blackouts, sometimes multiple times in a day.
This summer, my schedule was 10:15 in the morning, 4:15 in the evening, and then like 9:15 at night. So that's 3 hours of power outages that I have to adapt into my schedule. That adds to the cost of setting up a system. So if I'm buying a PS or a PC and I want to play during power outages, I have to set up a UPS system, right? An uninterruptible power supply system.
The next thing I noticed was that these machines were not coin operated. The cabinets were clearly just running console versions of the game, so I wondered how customers paid. I wasn't ready for the answer.
That whole coin-operated system still exists in a certain way. They introduced a sort of honor system. They play like first to 10 sets, first to 5 sets. They'd be keeping track of how many times they lost. And once everything was done, they'd report it back to the desk that this is how many games I lost. And as many games as they lost, that was the amount of coins.
That takes so much trust. I'm impressed that that works. For gamers, I feel like you run that. I feel like there people would scam that system. I mean, maybe it's virtual. Maybe if you're going to the same place consistently, then they'll know if you're you don't want to get thrown out.
Imaginary coins that they have to pay.
Even without a winner-stays-on coin-based system, they still maintain the arcade competitive spirit where each game is a mini money match. For the hardcore tournament players, there's even a bring-your-own controller area with smaller low-lag monitors. Another thing I couldn't ignore was the claw grip that many Pakistani players use to press buttons. The first time I saw this up close was when I filmed Arslan Ash practicing in Thailand. Why do Pakistanis play like this?
Like accidentally used to press other buttons, like, yeah.
So this guy's the
So
GOAT?
then I changed this grip.
Wait, this guy's like the GOAT right now? These guys like okay, yes. This guy's the GOAT. Okay, that's fucking sick. All right.
And then I moved to this.
Cool,
Also,
cool,
you
cool.
know, yeah, the thing is that if you can see, then I have some kind of dead skin on here. And also here, I have dead skin. So I think this is the problem with me. So when I used to play like this, I couldn't play because this skin hurts me, you know. So then I adopted this play style.
After Arslan mentioned his wrists, I started to notice that the edge of some of these cabinets had rubbed off exactly where you would place your wrists. Also, the arcade buttons were spaced much further apart than the typical arcade layouts you see elsewhere. These wooden cabinets are unique because they were designed and built by the locals.
जाहिर सी बात है बंडाई ने हमको यहाँ
That's interesting.
आर्केड वगैरह कुछ चीज़ कैबिनेट्स वगैरह तो भेज नहीं सकता, तो हमने खुद अपनी मदद आपके तहत इसको डिज़ाइन किया और इसको बनाया और मार्केट में लेके आए. तो हमारे लड़कों के लिए ये भी एक नई चीज़ थी तब कि दो साइड पे खेलना, और इससे एक तो गेम भी न्यूट्रल हो गई थी, कोई किसी के हाथ या बटन वगैरह नहीं देख सकता.
So they all use the same.
तो
That's so
इससे
interesting.
लोगों को भी फायदा हुआ, लोगों की प्रैक्टिस
Because of the cabinets.
तो हमने कोशिश की कि अच्छे से अच्छा मटेरियल लगाएं इसके ऊपर और इसको रनिंग में लेके आए.
This guy, he really helped us make those cabinets.
Yeah.
The crash cabinets, and then we bought it from him, and then we put them in many gaming houses. He's pretty good at the woodwork and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's the founder of the crash body in Pakistan.
Okay, wow. This is the Itra shopping center where they build arcade cabinets and sell them. You can also find imported games and accessories here, but what caught my eye were all the scraps from old gaming machines. Because gaming equipment is expensive and scarce, repair becomes a necessity.
Right.
But without official repair centers, it's difficult to source the parts. Third-party repair centers like Gaming Tech Pakistan rely on scavenging parts from broken equipment to fix consoles, arcade boards, or controllers.
So many red
If we come here, he's probably gonna have a board for King of Fighters 95. Anything, you basically just come here, you tell them that this is the retro thing that I need to fix. These are your guys.
This resourcefulness has made gaming possible for as many people as possible. If a cabinet needs to support a 6-button game, drill some more holes. If a game doesn't need all the buttons, put them in an arcade stick.
लोगों को यहाँ पे बहुत मुश्किल है इन चीज़ों की, खास तौर पे ये जो पार्ट्स हैं ये जब वहाँ से इधर आते हैं तो वो
The only thing is, this is incredible of how they made it happen. I would love to see more. Hopefully they have a little bit on like, okay, against all odds, they were able to create a scene. How did they become so fucking good? Was it like it's so cool that they did this, you know, where it was financially difficult and then they became fucking world class. That's so
जितनी
sick.
कीमत का होता है उससे डबल कीमत में पहुंच जाता है. आधे से तकरीबन 70% लोग तो ऐसे हैं जिनके पास इक्विपमेंट ही नहीं है इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे कम्पीट करने के लिए, तो वो देसी यहाँ पे जो भी चीज़ मिलती है उसका बना के उस पर खेलते हैं, प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. उनका शौक देखें आप कि वो उनको कुछ सस्ती चीज़ भी, कोई हल्की चीज़ भी मिल जाए तो वो उसके ऊपर भी खेलना शुरू कर देते हैं क्योंकि
I mean, there's a similar story with Korea and StarCraft where Korea, they weren't able to import consoles. And so they started doing PC games, and then they set up these PC cafes where you could cheaply play video games. And one of the only games that you could easily pirate and run on LAN was StarCraft Brood War. And so it was running on all these PC cafes. People were playing 24/7, and they were grinding with each other. And suddenly they became by far the best in the world, set up a whole scene. And now, like, you know, decades later, Korea is still like a fucking world leader in esports because of like that early, AOE 1 in Vietnam. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just cool. Like the quirks of geography and culture and economics lead to esports success down the line.
शौक का तो कोई हिसाब नहीं लगा सकता, कोई जिसका जो शौक है उसी हिसाब से वो करता है.
But gear alone.
As a Bandai Namco investor, I am appalled. Yeah, I mean, this is all very beautiful and heartwarming, but really, I think a couple of lawyers should kick down the door, clean this place out, slap them all with cease and desist, if not jail time. Okay, huge fines. If it were Smash Bros, they would. If it were a Nintendo console. You notice, I saw broken Xboxes, broken PlayStations, I saw GPUs, I see fight sticks. I don't see one fucking Nintendo. And that's cause they'll get fucking gunned down, dude. That's cause the fucking Miyamoto Strike Force will bust in the window.
Doesn't make people good at a game. While Zaman makes and repairs arcade sticks, he also runs Maniac's Gaming Hub, a meeting place for the fighting game community and a training ground for the best players in the country. There's a wall signed by FGC people passing by, and a welcome message still there from when Nee came to visit. It's a place to practice, but also a place to hold tournaments and exhibitions.
ये जो इवेंट है ये मैं एक लीग करवाई है ताकि लोगों को पता लगे कि ये 1 मंथ की लीग है, बैक टू बैक 3 इवेंट्स होंगे इस लीग में. ये मैं बेसिकली इसलिए करवा रहा हूँ क्योंकि कम्युनिटी को पता लगे कि इवेंट कैसे होते हैं और बाहर जाकर उन्होंने कैसे खेलना है, कैसे प्रेशर हैंडल करना है. और एक तो जो प्लेयर स्पॉन्सर नहीं है, जिनको पैसों की जरूरत है, वो तो जीतें और प्राइज़ वगैरह हासिल करें. उनको पता लगे कि यार इस फील्ड में भी पैसा है, इसमें मेहनत करनी चाहिए और इवेंट होते हैं. और मैं जब ईवो गया था और मैंने वहाँ पर देखा कि लोग इस चीज़ को कितना सीरियस लेते हैं, तो मैंने फिर इरादा किया था कि इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान जाऊँगा. पहले भी इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज कराता था, पर अब मैं अच्छे लेवल पे ऑर्गेनाइज करवाऊंगा इवेंट. तो काफ़ी लोगों ने मेरी इसमें हेल्प आउट की है और ये लीग इंशाल्लाह सक्सेसफुल है और आगे भी मैं इसका सीज़न 2 भी करवाऊंगा इंशाल्लाह बहुत जल्द.
ये कम्युनिटी जो है ना, ये अगर इकट्ठी रहेगी, एक जगह इकट्ठी रहेगी, एक दूसरे का साथ देगी, तो इनको कोई भी नहीं हरा सकता. पाकिस्तान टेकन एक मौजा ही है, ठीक है. अरसलान की जो परफॉर्मेंस है उसने इसको यानी कि अकम्प्लिश किया. और अगर अरसलान ये परफॉर्मेंस ना देता वहाँ पे, तो अभी भी हम स्ट्रगल ही कर रहे होते हैं. तो अब पूरी दुनिया की नज़रें हमारी टेकन के ऊपर हैं. इंशाल्लाह ताला लड़के मेहनत कर रहे हैं और आगे निकलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. हर बंदा एक दूसरे से आगे सबकत लेना चाह रहा है.
But as much as I love Tekken and competitive fighting games, I thought calling it a miracle was a bit much. But then I went to Lahore City Square and saw this.
Oh, it's famous.
Many thanks to the Pakistani FGC for helping me make this video and bearing with me every time I said a place reminded me of Dark Souls. This was Gerald from Corey Gaming. Thanks for watching.
Guy who just played Dark Souls visiting Pakistan. Getting a real Dark Souls vibe from this country. That's very funny. I liked how often the guy was saying God willing when he was talking about running his tournament. Because though I'm not religious, I like to imagine that if God is real, he is a huge Tekken fan. It was like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm willing. I'm willing and able, bro. All right, let's see. That was great. I really like that one a lot. I like that video a lot. Good recommendation. The real story here is that Korea was the region for 10 years, and then this dude came out of nowhere and won. I heard about it. I've heard about it. I heard like the basic of the story. There was a print article that I read about it. I don't remember where from. About how Pakistan rose up, but I would love to see a little more of their fighting. Anyway, very fucking cool. Very fucking cool. Let's see what else is on our fucking options here on GlizzTube. We have Pope fights. We have the big lie about nuclear waste. Coffee Cow bonus times 12. We have Liquid Death, which is a song, I assume. We've already heard this one. The thing nobody will say about Apple Vision Pro, I can't imagine what is something nobody would say. The 3 types of detective game could be interesting. I like gaming stuff. We watched The Cult. The Battle of Alesia. This is Historia Civilis, which is really good. Why UPS drivers make $170K a year and you don't? Okay, first of all, you don't know me. You don't know me. What am I gonna say? Unions. The densest city on Earth. Oppenheimer. I think I mean, I can watch this video. It's only 10 minutes long. This could be interesting. Could learn a thing or two.
Put yourself in this situation. You're the commander of an army.
Okay.
You're up against somebody with superior technology.
Okay.
But you have them slightly outnumbered. You are better supplied, but they are better disciplined.
Okay.
You've defeated them in a minor engagement in the past, but that was in an unusual situation where you had cut their supply lines and they had acted foolishly.
Okay.
You have allies, but they're very far away, fighting battles of their own. Seriously?
I think what I would do is I would tell all of my men to run straight at them as fast as possible, screaming. And if that doesn't work, I would say nothing could be done. It was in God's hands and he decided I would lose. And then I would, I feel like that would work for decades, centuries.
Consider this question. What would you do? This was Vercingetorix's situation in 52 BCE. His opponent was Julius Caesar. This was the Battle of Alesia.
Oh, it's a Caesar battle, okay.
This is how Vercingetorix responded to this situation. He pulled his men back to a highly defensible hilltop fort. He sent out messengers to all of his allies, asking for reinforcements. His logic was this: if Caesar was foolish enough to attack the fort, Vercingetorix still held the high ground with superior numbers, and would cut him to pieces. If Caesar was foolish enough to wait around, Vercingetorix's reinforcements would arrive, and Caesar would be up against 2 armies instead of 1.
Easy loss.
You can see that Vercingetorix is trying his best to play into his strengths. Greater numbers? Let's amplify that by calling for reinforcements. Better supplied? Let's dig in and see if the enemy acts impulsively. So what went wrong?
Yeah, actually I would love to know
Over the course of his 7-year proconsulship, Caesar had been slowly tightening his grip on Gaul. He hadn't annexed any territory officially, only the Roman Senate could do that.
I'm sorry, I have to pause real quick though. I'm already interested in this video and I want to watch it. This channel gets millions of views. Why does he use an Xbox microphone to record? Why? What is the fucking possible reason this has to sound like this? Is it very old? Didn't someone told me he had a new one today? Let's watch a new one. Because this is very interesting, but I'm sure all the battles are interesting, and I'd rather watch one that doesn't sound so old. No, the production is fine. The graphics are good. There's a remaster? There's a remaster? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Civilis Alesia remaster. How about that? No, it doesn't exist. You've lied to me. All right, fuck it. We just finish it. You know what I'm saying? Get used to the mic.
But
I want to know what happens in this bootle.
Gauls contribute.
I don't have TikTok brain, you motherfucker. All I want is for the audio quality to be a little
Gauls
better.
contributed.
That's it.
Troops to Caesar's armies, supplied him with grain, and even
just mute it. Okay, now we're enjoying it. Now we're fucking enjoying it. Now I see. No, now I'm fucking getting it.
But the Gauls contributed troops to Caesar's armies, supplied him with grain, and even handed over annual tribute. The Roman Senate may not have called it annexation, but it would have felt an awful lot like it to the Gallic people. As Caesar's grip on Gaul tightened, a conspiracy hatched between the regional Gallic leaders. They decided on a coordinated uprising across all of Gaul. This conspiracy coalesced around one man who was elected to lead the uprising, named Vercingetorix. Now we return to the scene of the battle. Vercingetorix outnumbered Caesar by about a third, and is sitting in a great defensive position. He has reinforcements on the way, but he doesn't know how many are coming or when they will get there. His men are well fed for the moment, but they seem intimidated by Rome's infantry. So he waits. Caesar closes in, and quickly gets to work besieging Alesia. This is already a little unorthodox. Caesar has a numerically inferior force, and is deep in enemy territory with shaky supply lines. Plus, being enemy territory, a Gallic army could be just over any horizon. Caesar was putting himself in a terribly vulnerable position, and he knew it. He begins to construct a set of inward-facing walls that ran an amazing 18 kilometers.
Okay, I do know this one. I actually know this battle. Doesn't he build an inner wall and then an outer wall? Yeah, he like double walls. Okay, yeah,
circumventing the entire fort and hillside, cutting off any potential escape. They would have had to clear entire sections of forest just to construct it. These were not just some thrown-together fortifications either. These walls were 2 stories tall, with ladders and raised platforms for patrols.
Sheesh.
Then, Caesar turned around and did the exact same thing again, this time facing the other direction. Leaving a wide enough gap to contain his entire army, we constructed another set of walls facing outward.
Genius!
He managed to get all of this done in a matter of weeks. Naturally, as you would expect, Vercingetorix attempted to slow down this process by sending out raiding parties to attack the workers, but they were easily repulsed by the Roman infantry. Do you see what Caesar did and why he did it? This is where his genius begins to show.
Yeah, it is smart.
Vercingetorix put him in an impossible situation, where he either assaulted a well-defended position against superior numbers, or waited to be caught between 2 armies with even more superior numbers, or he could have retreated. Caesar created a 4th option. He made his own fort. He stole Vercingetorix's tactical advantage right out from under him. Now, if Vercingetorix wanted out, he was going to have to be the one assaulting Caesar's well-defended position.
Yeah, they built it right.
When Vercingetorix's reinforcements finally arrived, the numbers were huge. If you count the combined Gallic armies, they outnumbered the Romans at something approaching 3 to 1. On the very first day, the Gallic armies advanced. They placed their massive numbers of cavalry in front, shielding and concealing lines of archers behind them. The Gauls always had excellent cavalry, superior to Roman cavalry in every way, so this was a pretty aggressive stance. Luckily for Caesar, he had been collecting cavalry from all across Gaul for many years now, and he had just received some elite mounted auxiliaries from Germania. He sent them out to meet the enemy advance.
Wait, how?
Intense cavalry on cavalry fighting took place all day. Whenever the Romans thought they were gaining the upper hand, the Gallic cavalry would pull back into the range of their archers, and the Romans would get surprised by a nasty volley of arrows. At this time, Vercingetorix's forces pushed up and prepared for an attack on the interior wall. They never found the opportunity. Caesar's elite German cavalry regrouped on the hillside and charged downhill into the enemy, finally driving them into a full-fledged retreat. This time, the Romans...
Wait, I'm sorry. They were completely outnumbered on cavalry, but Caesar's cavalry just fucked them up, backed down, and then went down the hill and fucked up the archers too? That's just outskilled. If you're getting outskilled on every level, it's a skill issue.
Romans were able to reach the lines of Gallic archers, who were easily killed. Somehow, outnumbered and outmatched, the Romans were able to hold the Gallic cavalry off, and all sides retired for the evening. The second day passed uneventfully, but that night, a focused surprise attack was launched from...
You know what this 3rd Gaul army should have done? They should have built a 3rd bigger wall around this, thereby laying siege to the Romans as they laid siege to fucking Vortigaunt or whatever, I forget his name. Okay? That would have been fucking history books. That would have been fucking crazy. Just literally starve them out in there.
From both directions at one specific point on the Roman defensive line. A young man named Mark Antony heroically commanded this section of the line, and in Caesar's eyes, his leadership single-handedly saved the day. Additional troops were called over from the far side of the wall, and the Romans were barely able to hang on for the night. Caesar knew talent when he saw it, and for the rest of his life, Antony would be his right-hand man. On the third day, the Gauls planned for an all-out assault. They began by taking some nearby high ground outside of the enclosure that was being lightly defended by some Roman infantry. The Gallic relief army then launched an offensive along the entire Roman defensive line. The thrust of this attack was a group commanded by Vercingetorix's cousin, who took his men up the newly liberated hillside and charged down it, attacking a weak point in the Roman wall. The small Roman army was stretched thinner and thinner, trying to defend the entire length of the wall at once.
It feels like they're screwed.
Caesar took personal command of his men in reserve, micromanaging groups of 500 men, having them reinforce sections of the wall just as they were about to vault the enemy.
The micro?
Finally, Vercingetorix realized what was happening and got his act together. He threw every man he had at one point along the thin Roman line, attempting to break through. The Gauls were doing pretty much exactly what they should have been doing. Spread the Romans thin to maximize their numerical weakness, and then breach the walls to nullify the defenses.
Yeah, once the wall's over, it's
Caesar
over.
saw what was happening, and threw every man he had in reserve at this section of the wall. Caesar was now fully committed, but Vercingetorix's breakout was thwarted. The besieged Gauls now shifted their tactics, beginning to attack the entire length of the inside wall.
Okay.
Caesar's army was now completely surrounded, fighting in all directions at once. The Roman situation now began to crumble.
Yeah, it seems bad.
Vercingetorix's cousin, attacking downhill, successfully breached the Roman wall, and Gauls began to pour through the Roman defenses.
Oh shit.
Caesar personally rode through his lines, stealing any unit he thought could be spared, and threw them towards the breach in the wall. In total, he was able to rally over 6,500 men,
who
formed a shield wall and held the entire Gallic army in place. Caesar then took personal command of his remaining cavalry, who were not of much use defending the walls, who, amazingly, managed to punch through the Gallic attackers at another section of the wall.
Okay.
The Roman
so much of this relies on this cavalry being fucking S-tier clutch. It's like they keep winning where they might have not.
Cavalry then turned and charged up behind the Gauls who had breached their walls.
Caesar invented the freezer shirt during this battle. That's historical fact. During this battle, to keep cool under pressure, Caesar bought a shirt out of the freezer and put it on. And that's how he was, I hadn't heard that. He didn't mention that in the video. You knew this, but he didn't mention it.
The Gauls saw the Roman cavalry charge and panicked, not realizing that the Romans were stretched to capacity and that this was the last card that Caesar had to play. Many Gauls tried to flee, but it was too late. The Roman cavalry encircled the Gauls, killing or capturing most of them.
It always comes back to encirclement. Every single one of these fucking historical battles. It's like, it's like, say the line, Bart. Say the line, Bart. Why was this general one of the greatest generals in human history? He encircled his opponent.
The rest of the Gallic relief army retreated. This finally allowed the Roman infantry to turn and focus on Vercingetorix, who then was pushed back into the fort. He surrendered the next day.
Get owned.
Now you see what Caesar was able to accomplish when he was put in an impossible tactical situation.
Yeah, it's pretty clutch.
And you can get a hint at how his brain worked. He wasn't necessarily obsessed with fancy formations, or complicated maneuvers, or classic set-piece battles. He had great sub-commanders who could do all of that for him. His thinking was always focused on bigger issues. Where does the enemy have the advantage? How can I mitigate that? Where am I strong? How can I maximize that advantage? How can I make the enemy tired? How can I make sure the enemy has the sun in their eyes? How can I make the enemy fight in the mud? How can I make them skip breakfast? His military talent...
Caesar a hater for real, dude. I'm sorry, bro. Caesar a hater for like he wishes your downfall. He wants you to have a fucking bad day. He wants you to fucking skin your knee and forget your keys at home
and you could say his political talent lied with opportunism.
Bro, fuck fighting Caesar. I hated when he did this. It's like, no, dude, for real. I was like, because I was there, and it's like, fighting other generals was like fun because they treated it like a battle, but Caesar always like try to fucking fuck with your breakfast and shine lights in your eyes and shit. And it's like, bro, you're ruining the game. You're ruining the fun of it. He was honestly a bit of a fucking. He's so sweaty. He's such a sweat, dude. I'm just trying to play fucking Fortnite here, and he wants to build.
He would take a situation and squeeze every conceivable advantage out of it until there was nothing left. And then, as with the Battle of Alesia, he would roll the dice.
Yeah, Caesar optimized the fun out of killing your fellow man for territory. I'll say that. I'll be the first to say it. He optimized the fun out of murder of your fellow man for territory. Okay, that was a good video. Whoa! Okay, I'm not normally a big Johnny Harris guy. However, I fucking love European bread. As much as I dog on Europe, I secretly low-key am jealous of their bread. And I would love to know why and how our bread is so much shittier. It bothers me. So I could watch this. It has a 5x coffee cow bonus. I mean, how could I pass that up? Let's get an answer, Johnny Harris. Why is our bread so much worse?
I love bread. There is so much good bread in France.
And although man doth not...
Ari says this all the time. She used to say a lot more. Apparently this is a commercial that played everywhere for Oprah's something. Ari always goes, whenever I say anything about bread, she goes, I love bread.
I love bread. There is so much good bread in France.
And although man doth not live by bread alone, without it the meal seems incomplete.
On every corner, there is a bakery that is pumping out delicious, fresh, well-made bread.
It's so fresh.
This is not easily available to me, and I want to know why. Why is it that the bread that I can get easily looks very, very different? Why is it that the US sucks at making bread? In fact, let me just show you what that looks like.
Okay, wait, it's 12 hours earlier, still back in the US. I'm actually at a grocery store right now. This is how a lot of us Americans get our bread.
Freedom.
Sigh. My favorite part is when they make this plastic look like it's steaming. It's just like foggy plastic to be like, this was just baked right now. And it's like, no, this was actually baked like 3 weeks ago in a factory in like Connecticut.
Tastes better that way.
It's even made with real butter.
Always buy Wonder Bread. You'll be glad you did.
The reason I'm purchasing this bread is because I want to bring it with me to France, just to like have an example lesson, and I may use it as a pillow because it's literally as soft as a Nova foam pillow. Some of this bagged bread is made with ingredients that
So he is comparing like grocery store bread to bakery bread, which I am seeing already in the chat, and I think that is a good point. However, I am of the opinion that there is some truth here in that I just had easy access to delicious bread when I lived in Europe. I don't even know how to describe it except that there was good bread everywhere. Like no matter where, everywhere you're eating, there's good bread. And now I don't have it. I don't feel like I get good bread often. And so there's gotta be something. There's gotta be something to this.
It's really illegal in the EU. Back to France, let's do it.
There's nothing. And I mean actually good. I mean even U.S. bakeries. I don't think they're as good. I think there's something wrong, bro.
I'm going to France. In case you're wondering, yes, any video from Paris must include music like this. Nice, gentle cafe accordion music. There's my composer Tom making it right now.
It's pretty cool.
It's just so good. Okay, so yeah, we know that France is good at bread and the US sucks at it. Is this just another video where I shit on the USA for being terrible at certain things? Yes, it is. It's exactly what it is. But hear me out. I actually have something to say here. I believe that bread is a really important symbol for a bigger cultural phenomenon.
I'm about to stand up for my country here. I'm going to start fucking wolfing down a full thing of Wonder Bread at the start of every stream. Okay?
Phenomenon in the US, and that's what I want to talk about today. Where industrialized bread came from, why it exists, and how some people are trying to change it.
I'll get to that explanation, but first I'm gonna go into that bakery over there and buy myself a large ball of butter and flour stuffed with chocolate. Oh, and Tom, can you throw in a beat to this accordion music, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any questions?
Yes. Are you going to finish that croissant?
Oh yeah. Pause. My job is to make videos for you. And the reason I'm able to do that is because there are brands that support this channel. This video in particular is eventually helps you find the right fit on the internet. It changed my life, it could change yours. Go check out BetterHelp. And thank you, BetterHelp, for supporting this channel and the journalism that I do. Let's dive back into the video.
This has not been
Okay,
journalism
so why
yet.
bread? There's a million other things I could talk about that are better in other parts of the world. But it turns out that bread is the most important prepared food that humans have ever made, and therefore it is worth talking about. So let me explain in under a minute the overview of the tens of thousands of years of history of bread and its chemistry and why it's so important.
Okay.
Don't think I can do it in under a minute? Check this out. 12,000 years ago, humans realized that they could plant this grass instead of just foraging for it. This grass was called wheat, and when it was ground up with a stone, it made this powder that, if you put water with it, creates this stretchy, goopy thing that has a bunch of sugar from the flour that's been released. Oh look, all the bacteria in the air love this sugary goop. Nice. And they descend to feast on it, burping out gas as they eat. Whoa, the gas can't float up into the air because it's getting trapped in this stretchy ball of goop, like a balloon, like a pillow, like magic. Magic. All this feasting and burping is making it rise and turn into a pillowy thing that is way bigger than it was. Put this blob next to some fire, and all of the little bubbles that were just created turn hard.
God,
Wait,
that looks
all of this
good.
can happen because of this one grass? Yes. Cool, let's plant a lot more of this grass and build all of human civilization off of it, said humans.
So that is bread, like the oldest and most important prepared food item that humans have ever invented. Eventually, humans got really good at doing this bread, flour, water, yeast thing. And especially here in France, they took it really seriously and have created a whole culture around making bread delicious and amazing.
Oh, that looks good.
And you
right
can see that they've
there.
continued that culture today just
Bro. This is
delicious and amazing.
Do you just get one of these sandwiches and they're fresh, and you just get it and it's a fucking tasty ass fucking sandwich, but it's got like, it's just fucking fresh and tasty. God damn it, they're so good.
And you can see that they've continued that culture today just by the number of bakeries.
Looks like Panera. Fuck you. Unironically, fuck you, dude. If you could fucking compare, no, it's not fucking Panera bread, dude. There's a fucking difference. You can taste the difference.
That exist in this city. There are 30,000 independent bakeries in France. Compare that to the 3,000 that are in the United States, and then remember that the US has like a much larger
Subway
population.
clears.
And if you do
Oh, it hurts me to hear you say that. Bro, I like Subway. Don't get me wrong. I'm a sandwich guy in general. Subway is not clear, bro. That's so America Pill that I can't even jokingly agree. Subway clears. Just a fucking beautiful fresh loaf of bread with fresh meats and cheeses on it. No, I think I'd rather have Subway, bro.
do all the math,
I get a
you see
$5
that France
footlong
has
with a
50
cookie.
times more bakeries per capita than the United States. 50 times.
I mean, that is such a clear indication of how much they value good bread that is baked a certain way.
Here with Mr. Local over here. Local French food in France.
Yes. 94% of Parisians live less than 5 minutes away from a bakery.
That's probably...
And that shows you they care. They care. It's like you hear stuff like that and you're like, this is their priority.
Yeah.
And the culture of eating is just as much important here as how like the ingredients are sourced and prepared and whatnot.
Yeah.
People don't eat while rushing.
Do you think it's because French people are so stinky and bad that they have to like not hang out with each other because the smell is so offensive that they have time to focus on bread? It's like I'm just trying to find a way. Is that a logical through line? Can we agree on that? Does that all that seems to track? Okay. Bro is cooking. He's been. I'm French, and I agree with you saying this. I'm sorry, is that how you actually said it, or did I fill that in? I'm French, and I just arrived on you. Hey, welcome. You know, last week I was complimenting your nuclear system, so you can't always get compliments when you jump in here. That's not how it works, all right? Give and take. Not even last week, like fucking 3 days ago or whatever.
Towards their next meeting or whatever. Like it's very much, no, you sit down, you make it a thing. It's just a part of the way of life here.
Yeah.
People come into the boulangeries almost on a daily basis and they check in with each other. It's like, hey, how you doing? You know, I'm doing great. This is what's happening.
Why?
Isn't that kind of cringe though? Don't you notice how everyone who's spending their time eating long lunches in parks is not increasing any shareholder value? Like not even any? Isn't that odd? Like when you're fucking walking around at a market, like what stock is rising on that? It doesn't. I don't even see them filming it. They're not even getting any views, which is. I feel like we can improve this by. I think the bread is good. Don't get me wrong. We take the bread, but leave everything else, and you just eat it silently at your desk while working. I feel like that. Then we had the best of both worlds. So you're sitting down, you're at your desk, you don't talk to anybody, you're stuffing it in your face as quickly as possible, not really enjoying it while you're, and all of a sudden you're getting bam, 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 bam.
That is the question. Why are these bread cultures so different? And the answer comes down to what America was founded on. I mean, a reminder that America is a country founded by a bunch of people who left their country to go make a new life, to do things differently, to do things more individualistically. And the way that expressed itself for a really long time was mechanization, industrialization. And to be clear, in the history, Britain was as much to blame for all of this mechanizing of bread as America was.
That's insulting.
But anyway, we're talking about the USA for a little bit. So by the 1920s, you had this machine that was invented, an automatic bread slicer. Hello, convenience, innovation, America. No more serrated knife versus a tough, crusty loaf. Now the machine will do it for you. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh, so that's where we're at. This is the greatest thing, says America. And Europe was like, wait, yeah, we like machines too, but like not for bread. Slice this bread and you make your bread spoil faster. We don't need a machine for sliced bread. But the automatic slicer was just the beginning for America.
No, I'm just getting warmed up.
Now that we have sliced bread that, yes, spoils faster, I've
noticed some bigger commentary and video essay type YouTubers do this, and I need to steal it. So Quack, write this down, and Eric Senshi. Whenever I am talking about something, find a vaguely relevant, actually not even relevant quote from a movie and just toss that in. Toss that in like, you know, just have them say it because it's kind of like a reference. It also breaks it up in your brain. So your brain gets, you know, it's like, now it's Al Pacino saying something. Yeah, kind of Family Guy it, but even more unrelated. Just toss that in, okay? Sprinkle it about.
Let's make it, I don't know, not spoil as fast. One way to do this is to take the part of the wheat berry that has oils in it, the husk and the bran, and get rid of it. Focus on the big carb-loaded berry in the middle. But there had to be a more industrial solution to make the bread last longer, to be whiter, to be softer. And it's the 1950s and Europe is like, whoa, dude, America, chill out. Like, bread is just bread. We've been doing this for literally tens of thousands of years. Let's just like stick to the program. And America's like, no. So America starts adding all of this stuff to their bread, bleaches and dough conditioners. And suddenly they're putting their bread into controlled chambers so that it will be hot enough to rise faster. And they're putting preservatives in so that their bread can now sit on a shelf for not just 1 or 2 days like it should, but 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, a whole week, and it's still soft. It is still white. It is still spongy and delicious. But it now has 15 ingredients instead of 3. And it's cheap,
more ingredients,
and
better
convenient
pizza.
and stable, and America is loving this, and Europe is like, whoa. You took this way too far. This is not bread anymore. And indeed, I would argue that this is not bread anymore. This is a bread-like substance. It's a different product made from a different process, and yet we use the same word for it. If you want to know more about what's inside of this kind of bread, I was actually here making this video when I stumbled upon a video from one of my favorite YouTubers.
Does that really answer my question? I mean, I guess there's some of it, but I already know that Wonder Bread is not fucking the bread that I'm looking for. But like, that's a different thing for different people. Whatever. I'm more like, even if I'm at a restaurant, you know? Like the bread quality is a little bit worse. It's just not, like, if that's what I want. That's what I want to know, why the fucking, it's just not that level. It's not that fucking...
Adam Ragusia. That's like a deep dive into all of the ingredients in this kind of industrial bread. Definitely go check it out. Some bread in the US has taken it so far that they will put in additives that keep it spongy and soft, or that keep it really white, even though these additives are known to like cause cancer and inflame asthma and do all of these terrible things. Many of these additives that are legal to be put in American bread are literally illegal in Europe and many other countries. Azodicarbonamide is one of them. This is a whitening agent. But you know what? This product, ADA, also helps other things stay softer, like yoga mats. ADA is in yoga mats to make them spongy and soft, and it is banned in the EU and many other countries. Our obsession with convenience.
Yoga is banned in the EU?
Cheapness, softness, shelf life has led us down a really dangerous path, and yet we're totally okay with it somehow. This is why I think bread is a useful symbol for broader American culture. It shows us how far we're willing to go to prioritize things like cheapness and convenience over tried and true methods that have been baked into culture.
Of course, industrialized bread exists here as well. It doesn't have some of the carcinogenic ingredients that are not allowed in the EU, but it still has all of the dough conditioners, bleaches, still artificially risen, all of that. The difference is that it is rare. It is much more rare here. What is much more common is the ability to go to your local bakery and get bread that only has a few ingredients. And it's the ingredients that humans have been using for tens of thousands of years to make this staple food.
The feeling that I generally have is that this is how it should be. And then when I go elsewhere and you have other kinds of bread that last kind of bizarre amounts of time, you know, you're like, this is not really how it should be. You get calibrated to kind of this new standard here, and it kind of ruins you.
Turns out Paris is low-key.
I feel like I got the point. Here, and this guy's, I mean, from one waffler to another, you know how to stretch this shit out, bro. You know how to stretch this shit out, I swear to God. That did not get me to the question I was hoping it would answer. Okay, well, what else do we have on? What time is that? I want to make sure I have time for Okay, we have time for one video, and then we're going to watch the house finale. So let's see. What is our one more video? We'll watch this. Is the sports betting industry a huge mistake? That could be good. Who's a better inventor, Elon Musk or Wallace and Gromit? This is probably hilarious. I love Leo Vader. I haven't heard from him in a while, so I assume this is new. Maybe it's cool. Operation Mincemeat, turn the tide of the war. The oldest voices we can still hear. That's kind of interesting. Nuclear waste is the safest waste. Pog, cool thumbnail. But that is sort of something I already agree with, so I would just be watching a video to reinforce my beliefs. Damn, I do think I think it makes me really fucking hungry because that actually does look good. I'm actually just fucking hungry, dude. That's the problem, is I'm hungry. Willpower is for losers. That's interesting. 4.5 million views with a GameCube controller and a cookie. That could be interesting. Could be interesting. Let's not rule it out. I don't know. What's really fucking drawing to me here? Maybe we should watch the sports betting one. I know those guys are pretty good. Good work. And I love to shit on sports betting. But also love to do it sometimes. Fuck it. We ball.
In 2018, the Supreme Court overturned a law that bans sports betting in most places in America, a decision that has led to our lives today, which is waking up and being absolutely waterboarded by sports gambling advertising.
America's #1 sports book. FanDuel Casino. FanDuel. Free chicken dinners with FanDuel Casino.
By gambling at
BetMGM Sportsbook.
BetMGM.
BetMGM.
What do you want from your sportsbook?
Please help me.
Helmet catch. Stop guessing the helmet catch.
Is it the Caesars Sportsbook app with Caesars rewards where the more you play, the more stuff you earn, and they have fast payouts because Caesar is the man?
Yes! My God, they even got the Tennessee Kardashians. Sports betting has become increasingly normalized in America over the last 6 years. But critics wonder if beneath the legal gambling industry's rise looms a public health crisis of unknown proportions. So is regulated gambling a healthy future for sports entertainment? Or have we opened a Pandora's sportsbook, putting millions of people at risk of addiction? Let's fucking find out.
Yeah!
Today, online sports betting is legal in 29 states and the freely associated island nation of Washington, D.C., with more states on the way. And with how quickly sports betting has become ubiquitous in American culture, it's easy to forget that gambling can actually kind of be bad for you.
We've now been able to show over the last 25, 30 years that when people who gamble, the same parts of the brain are being activated as if I were taking alcohol, tobacco, cocaine.
I'm sorry, but I didn't go into this video thinking he would say anything negative about gambling. That's come on. That's too far. Have a little class, Dan Toomey. Come on, dude. That sore loser, perhaps? Bet a bad parlay like an idiot? If it was bad, would XQC do it? Come on, dude. Let's get real here, okay? I'm gonna watch this, but you're on thin ice, buddy.
Or cannabis.
Dr. Tim Fong is the co-director of the UCLA Gambling Studies Program and a clinical professor of psychiatry.
It impacts sleep, it impacts mood, it impacts finances, it impacts relationships. And when you have a product that's being given out and regulated by the government, It's got to be regulated and it's got to be understood.
In 2013, the American Psychological Association officially classified gambling as an addiction. Meanwhile, since its 2018 legalization, sports betting has generated a gangbusters amount of economic activity in the U.S. $220 billion in bets were placed in just the first 5.
Quack, can you find me one of these microphones? I've decided I want to try recording one of my videos while walking and holding a microphone. Why I gotta do it right here? All my videos the same scene, bro. I'm always just talking to camera right here. What if I want to move around? What if I want to move around? What if I want to say I'm walking here? What if I want to be like talking about some update in business and then in the middle of it somebody bumps me and I go, hey, I'm walking here, and then we cut and then you play a clip from Family Guy and then I think that would be better. Plus, I'm going to China this year, and I want to film from there. I need a microphone.
5 years it was legal. There are now over 16 million average monthly users of the most popular sports betting apps. And next year, online sports betting revenue is expected to approach $12 billion. But to understand this growth trajectory, we gotta talk about something called daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy is an online version of fantasy sports, and according to my wife, a terrible reason to have my phone out during our kids' baptism. Fantasy is when you pick a bunch of real players, assemble a fake team out of them, and keep track of their stats. But around 2010, a new turbocharged version of fantasy came onto the scene, where you could set new lineups as often as every day, play in apps on your phone, and crucially, put money down on the results.
So you had two competitors that really arose to the top of the market here, DraftKings and FanDuel.
Kenneth Vogel is a New York Times investigative reporter who was part of a team that wrote a series of major stories about the betting industry's rise in America.
And they made a business out of fantasy sports and allowed players to not put money on the performance of their teams. They would push back against the use of the term wager there.
Even though gambling on sports was still broadly illegal, Congress had previously determined that fantasy sports were actually a game of skill, not luck, meaning that putting money on the results wasn't gambling. Which reminds me a lot of an argument my high school friend Chaz used to make about the pullout method. The gray area.
Okay, but it is gambling. It is a game of skill in that someone can be bad at it, but that you cannot, it's not deterministic. It's gambling. Like, you know, if I play blackjack, somebody can show up and fucking hit on 20 and they're an idiot. And so I can be better than him. I can be good at blackjack compared to him, but it's deterministically, I'm gambling. I'm gambling.
In which these fantasy companies operated was pretty controversial, even at the time. A lot of state attorney generals and even some sportsbook CEOs publicly said that they considered daily fantasy to be gambling, but the industry saw it differently.
So you don't view what you do here at FanDuel as gambling? No. That's a word that isn't used very much around here, I take it.
Still, FanDuel and DraftKings clearly understood that they were operating in murky waters and made a huge lobbying push to defend themselves. And they were pretty successful. By 2017, 19 states had passed laws explicitly legalizing daily fantasy sports. But this effort wasn't just about creating a legal framework for daily fantasy. The industry's big kahuna was still out there, swimming around in the deep blue sea, just waiting to be caught. I'm talking about full-on sports betting.
Breaking news: the Supreme Court this morning striking down the federal ban on sports betting. Now it leaves it up to the states.
When that happened, the industry was ready to get lobbying, thanks to their powerful network of relationships in state capitals that they built during their daily fantasy push.
There was a lot of like whining and dining. That was my colleague Eric Lipton, and a photographer who went out to Kansas. This is a party that was sponsored by the industry, by lobbyists who were representing the industry. The lawmakers were smoking cigars and drinking expensive scotch that was provided by the lobbyists and sort of schmoozing with them as the debate was unfolding a few blocks away in the Capitol.
The industry's main arguments for legal sports betting.
You know, I feel like we should all become senators. It seems fun. I feel like it seems like a fun job. You know, you hang out, you drink, you party, you talk to people. Like, what? There's a lot less work than I thought. You know, let's just do it. It's easy and fun. We'll split up the states. You guys figure it out. I'll take whatever, as long as I get California.
Both then and now are to fight black market gambling and generate tax revenue.
There's this big illegal market and there's no consumer protections, no tax revenue being generated. Why don't we just bring that in-house?
A lot of states are understanding that it's really just common sense legislation to allow mobile sports betting. It raises tax revenues and it puts an illegal market out of business.
And look, I know it's easy to go around bashing these corporate CEOs, especially when they got this mid-as-hell Zoom background. What is this, a map of the lands you plan to conquer? Why do you have a black and white photo of the Industrial Revolution behind you? Come on, Matt. It could be worse.
Roasted.
You've got some work to do, buddy. But my point, which I'm making very clearly and without getting sidetracked, my point is that the gambling black market is a problem, and regulating it would generate tax revenue.
One of our biggest concerns, we have so much of the unregulated sports betting market, right? So these are the websites that are based in who knows where. They take all electronic, financing, so they're not subjected to the regulations of the state. But trying to shut them down is impossible because you don't even know where they exist.
Now, it's impossible to know the exact size of the black market at this time, but some estimates had Americans illegally betting as much as $150 billion per year. But the industry...
Sorry, that was me. That was me. It was one big bet. It was one big parlay. I lost it. I did lose it. I'm down 150 bill, which is not great. Ari didn't love to hear that, but I think I'm due now, if that makes sense. You get the next one. Exactly. You get it. I think I've set myself up for success.
Second point was that if states did vote to legalize, it would instantly create tax revenue.
One of the things that the sports betting industry had going for it, after 2018 was, it's sort of a perverse way to think about it, but it was the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic put a real dent in state budgets.
So the black market, the promise of tax revenue, state budgets absolutely decimated by the pandemic. It was the perfect storm for sports betting companies to capitalize on. And capitalize, they have.
There's a huge investor appetite around it. The companies are turning over massive amounts of money. Everyone's very excited.
Oliver Barnes is a reporter for the Financial Times who's been covering the gambling industry both in the US and the UK.
Lawmakers are also quite excited, right? Because you're sitting in a state that's yet to legalize sports betting. You have a whole load of tax revenues you can just switch on there overnight.
But in reality, many states who have voted to legalize have seen less tax revenue than expected.
The industry, the sports betting companies and the gambling trade groups push for lower tax rates.
While lobbying for legalization in states like Kansas, the industry argued that the best way for states to maximize their tax revenue.
I love that. If you legalize this, you're going to get a fuck ton of taxes. And then when they start taxing you, whoa, wait a minute, bro. Let's talk. Have another cigar. You're not going to tax us. You weren't really going to do that. You didn't think we'd actually let you tax us. That was what we say.
Would actually be to tax betting companies less because it would create an easier market for the companies to operate in. Okay, whatever you say, Mr. Businessman. All right. But in 14 jurisdictions that legalized and followed the industry's tax advice, revenues in 2022 were nearly $150 million less than predicted. And in addition to negotiating lower tax rates, the industry also convinced many states to classify huge chunks of their advertising spend as tax write-offs.
When we talk about deductions for advertising and marketing, what we're really talking about is the promotional bets. And so what that is you see an ad and it says, get your first $100 of free bets, or we'll match your first $100 or what have you. And this is an incentive that the gambling companies are using to bring in new customers. And what they did was they convinced lawmakers in most states to allow them to deduct the cost of these promotional bets.
In 2022 alone, the industry gave out almost $1 billion in these promo bets, costing states more than $120 million in potential taxes. States are losing money on promotional bets. I'm losing money on promotional bets. You and I aren't so different after all, Kansas. Maybe this could work out between us. And though tax revenue generated by the industry post-legalization has been underwhelming, you might say the opposite about its approach to marketing.
Spreads to cover, overs to hit, and chances to live bet from the first down to the final whistle.
Download BetMGM. You know what to do.
I know what to do. Oh, yeah.
The industry spent about $300 million on TV ads in 2023 and an estimated $1.8 billion in local markets. This marketing push even made it to college campuses. One deal.
It is funny that the entire sports betting industry spent less on ads than Temu. I think they put like 3 times as much in just 1 year. That is funny.
And about $300 million on TV ads in 2023 and an estimated $1.8 billion in local markets. This marketing push even made it to college campuses.
Like
One deal between Michigan State and Caesars Sportsbook lets Caesars Caesarize part of its campus. Another between Colorado Boulder and PointsBet gave the school $30 every time one of their students signed up for the app and placed a bet. Granted, there's a lot of backlash to these deals.
What?
The lead gambling industry trade group now prohibits marketing.
I'm sorry, wait, what? The University of Colorado Boulder accepted $1.6 million to promote sports gambling on campus and then gave the school $30 every time someone made a bet. That's fucking crazy. You are an institute of higher education. That's such a fucking sellout to your students. That's crazy. Bro, I would feel uncomfortable about a streamer taking this deal. If XQC did this deal, I'd be like, not the fucking college you go to that you're already paying to go to. That's crazy. XQC would never take this deal, by the way, because it is too small.
The school $30 every time one of their students signed up for the app and placed a bet. Granted, there's a lot of backlash to these deals. The lead gambling industry trade group now prohibits marketing on college campuses. And since then, Michigan State, Colorado, and other schools have canceled their partnerships. But what's so bad about these ads anyway? Getting Caesarized sounds fun.
The public health issue is that this is an addictive product.
Oh, I get it. Too fun. Richard Daynard is the lawyer who designed the litigation strategy against the tobacco industry, resulting in Big Tobacco coughing up over $200 billion and changing the way they market cigarettes. We lied and told him we were 60 Minutes, and he agreed to tell us about his next target, the sports betting industry.
There's the denial of, of dangers, presenting this thing as simply a harmless way to have fun. March 10th of last year, of 2023. That was the day that...
I will say, thus far, my review, I think these guys do a much better job than Johnny Harris. I'll say it. I'll be brave enough. Their views might not be on his level, but I think they do. There's much to learn from that. I am impressed.
Sports betting was unleashed in Massachusetts. There was just massive marketing. There'd be trash containers. It'd be on the side of buses, as well as on, television. Just about anything you turned on would have an ad for, one of the companies.
Unfortunately, it's been a while since I've turned anything on, Professor. Daynard's Public Health Advocacy Institute recently backed a lawsuit in Massachusetts against DraftKings, and its focus is on one of those fun tax write-off promotional ads. According to the lawsuit, DraftKings knowingly and unfairly designed a $1,000 sign-up bonus. The $1,000 comes in the form of additional bets, which customers could only get if they first deposited $5,000, risked $25,000 within 90 days, and bet on events with worse odds than 3-1, which doesn't sound like I'm gonna get it.
That's not even really a bonus. That's like if you pretty much guaranteed give us more than $1,000, we'll give you a little bit of it back. There's no.
$1,000.
The idea is for you to continue to bet, which is the way you develop and heighten an addiction, which is you keep at it, you keep doing it. We hope to, encourage, other litigation. This is hardly the only deceptive ad running in the United States.
And there is some backlash building.
We don't see cannabis ads on TV, do we? We don't see a lot of tobacco ads on TV anymore. And all that has an impact on what people think and feel about that product, right? When you look at the gambling ads right now, They're all 120% positive.
Regulators in Ohio doled out almost $1 million in fines last year to betting companies for advertising that customers could make free bets. Massachusetts and other states have moved to legally ban advertising on college campuses. And all the way up there in Maine, lawmakers propose banning cartoon characters, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers from being able to appear in ads. Which might sound extreme to us here in America, but is actually very similar to the way that lots of other countries regulate gambling advertising.
In the UK, there's like a whistle-to-whistle ban on football matches. You can't advertise like during a football match in terms of like TV commercials. Because of the advertising environment where you're bombarded with ads, it's very difficult to kind of escape that habit of like recurrently gambling.
The UK has also banned gambling logos on the front of Premier League jerseys, and other regulators want to move even further. In Australia, gambling ads are banned during games between 5 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. In Belgium and the Netherlands have fully banned gambling advertising on TV, radio, newspapers, and in public spaces. And these regulations are all a reaction to the way that gambling has proliferated in these countries post-legalization. The UK Gambling Commission earlier this year said that as many as 2.5% of their adult population could be problem gambling. Meanwhile, in Australia, citizens lose more gambling per capita than in any other country. And some worry that if the US...
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I do a video about how gambling is a problem, or I mention it in Marketing Monday or whatever, I'll always get some Australian comments being like, ha, first time. Like, wow, America's going through this, and it's like, we've been there, we're way worse. We've got it 1,000,000 times worse. Like, Lamau, small fries. they're like so simultaneously aware, like Sag, and proud of Australia's gambling degeneracy on every street corner.
Isn't careful, we might not learn from these more mature markets.
The real issue is, are we escalating up to a tipping point where we could develop a gambling crisis, like a gambling epidemic like we had with opioids? I don't think we're there yet, and I think having these conversations now should, I think, prevent and mitigate a lot of those things like that.
Well, it's all in a day's work, Dr. Fong. Happy to solve a public health crisis whenever, sir. So outside of ad regulations, what are some options that we have to create a safer, legalized sports betting market? One obvious tool is self-exclusion, which just means giving people the option to tell these sports betting companies, hey, don't let me use these apps ever again. But US self-exclusion technology lags behind the UK's.
So I go to FanDuel and I say, I want to stop gambling, self-exclude me from FanDuel, which you can do in the US. But you then also have to go and self-exclude yourself from all the other apps. In some states, you can go to the state regulator and say, please self-exclude me from all of them. But in some states, that's an online process where you fill in a form. In some states, you literally have to write them a letter.
It would be cool if... walk with me for a second, digitally, mentally, in our minds. It's the future, Minority Report style. TV's evolved. Every ad you get on everything is customized. Okay, and you can choose to opt out of gambling ads altogether. Okay. So it's complete. You just can't get. You could just one system, and you are opted out of all the apps. You're self-excluded, and you cannot get the ads. That could be interesting. Why would they ever let you opt out of ads? Well, I'm assuming it's illegal, right? Like you would set it up with the government. That could be kind of cool, where you can just choose. Bruno Mars, the type of dude to opt into the gambling ads. If you guys don't know, Bruno Mars lost $50 million, I think, in Vegas, and is apparently in deep gambling debt. That's correct. This would be a good time for me to do a Bruno Mars like chorus joke, but I can't think of any songs. Give me a Bruno Mars song. I know many. I'm not. Give me a Bruno Mars joke that would be crushing right here. Come on. He certainly didn't have any Uptown Funk on that one. Perfect.
And you compare that to the
Cut
UK,
print,
where
okay?
I go and ban myself from one betting app, they'll ban me from both of them. When you look at the US, the actual safety mechanisms in place, there's just considerably less of them.
Other areas where the U.S. can make improvements include eliminating betting with credit cards, which 20 states allow, taking a closer look at live betting during games, where bettors can wager on things like how fast the next pitch will be, bets where the odds are more advantageous for the sportsbooks than normal, and increasing the amount of public funding towards problem gambling resources. In fact, 9 states provided zero funding for problem gambling services.
You can bet with credit cards in 20 states. That's fucking ridiculous. Only 20? We're so fucking backwards as a country. We have 30 states you can't bet with a credit card in? How much longer is it gonna take us to get there? To get to full equality?
In 2023, and according to Dr. Fong, problem gambling receives just a fraction of the resources versus comparable programs for drugs and alcohol.
Because the funding that's available for gambling research and treatment compared to alcohol, tobacco, and substances is infinitesimal. It's tiny, barely registers.
Bars.
So we need to better understand, how do we keep
lagging.
people in that lane of social, recreational gambling without harm?
Looking at all of these legal problems, lawsuits, and Kevin Hart telling me to download an app he probably doesn't use, it just makes me wonder if this has all been worth it. Is the industry right when they argue that the legalized system we're creating is better than just the good old black market? I don't know. What does someone with a smarter voice think?
There's some truth in it, right? Which is, yes, they shifted a large number of consumers from the black market where there are no protections at all into a regulated market where there are some protections. But for me, I think the main thing that's understated in all of that is just the denominator. But if you just have more people exposed to gambling products, you're likely to get a large number of people who face the negative side effects of gambling, which is a small proportion. But if you have hundreds of millions of people using the product, it's large, right?
I think it's disingenuous to say that, this is a safer environment for all these people, because a lot of those people would not have been gambling, I imagine, on sports unless it was just shown to them all over and all these ads and everything.
Yeah. Saul Malik is a former gambling addict who now travels the country speaking about the risks of sports betting.
I do think that the technology, of course, will accelerate it and also turn people who say they're sports bettors into casino players very quickly, because the need for action speeds up as it progresses as an addiction.
Well, the good news is now with all this growth, the sports betting industry is gonna take a beat and clear.
Someone in chat called him a traitor. Such a fucking brain rot. That dude flipped sides on us real gamblers. Bro's a traitor to the cause, to the true passion of fucking giving money to casinos and casino-like entities. Net on net for the rest of your life.
Clear their heads and really take some time to get this thing right before we escalate any further.
There's actually even a further holy grail that they're still fighting for, and that they, even at that early juncture back in the 2010s, were looking at as something that was the ultimate.
This guy's fire in his eyes.
Oh no, what's that, Ken?
And that is iGaming. It's essentially like full casino gambling on your phone. Turn every phone into a blackjack table or a slot machine or whatever that could operate 24/7.
Right now, iGaming is only legal in 6 states, and I'm sure for many of you, combining doom scrolling with doom slotting seems crazy. But also at one point, so was Taken.
That's fucking crazy. You can just sit there on your phone and fucking punt money on blackjack and roulette. People will get fucking bankrupted. That's crazy. The only way you should be able to do that is if there's a anime girl game around it. Then it's fine. If I'm going to gamble with my savings on my phone, it should be able to be for waifus while I'm spinning. If you make it just the actual casino games, there's nothing pure about that. There's nothing honorable or respectful.
This sucker out, dialing up a heater of a parlay and throwing that shit on your Amex. legally. But think of how far we've come with sports betting. I mean, look at the NFL. In 2003, the NFL wanted to distance themselves from the industry so much they rejected a proposal for Las Vegas to air a tourism ad during the Super Bowl. And now the Eagles are doing paid partnership posts with DraftKings. In 2 days, the Super Bowl is going to be in Las Vegas. If all of this could happen in 6 years, who's to say what could happen in 6 more? 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48.
I get it.
54, 60. I mean, it's hard to imagine, really. But if anything, it's important to recognize that
America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel Casino.
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
DraftKings playoffs, baby. The crown is yours.
I'm trying to finish the...
Oh, snap. DraftKings new sportsbook app.
For good work.
Do you guys think Kevin Hart was paid for those ads, or he did it just because he truly believes and loves in gambling? I don't 100%. I feel like he really does. It's like love of the game, love of the spin. I feel like he might have asked DraftKings if, like, hey, can I do this one pro bono? Just to...
There's no better feeling than a win, except a BetMGM win.
For good work, I'm continuing.
Phenomenal video. Good job. Good work. Really enjoyed it. Chat, we are now going to watch the season finale of House! Season finale. We've been building to this moment. What will happen? I don't know, but they always get fucking crazy. Real House fans only. Everyone, please. I'm sorry. Everyone, please in chat, take out at least one Vicodin and do it right now. One Vic minimum. All right. I'm going to play one ad. I'm going to get a snacky and a drink. I encourage you to do the same. And then we're going to watch it. All right, ready? It chained up. Bro, I unironically think I can pull off this mustache. I want to tell you that I think I can pull it off, especially if I start getting stronger. I think all I have to do is get a little more bulked, you know? And then I can truly do the Cavill. How many times are you going to tell me this today? Hey, babe. Do you think with this mustache that I look like the dad from Inside Out?
I don't remember what the dad from Inside Out looks like because I don't like that movie.
Based.
Hate it.
It's not high on my tier list.
Oh. Yeah, I think you do look like him. Especially that one. It's like the roast me, give him the roast me paper.
Okay, well.
Wow, that's disturbing.
Hot dad from Inside Out. That's my other tab. All right, we're gonna watch a little Nice shirt. I didn't see her shirt. What was it? All right, she made me a fucking grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's fucking nice. God damn. That's really nice. What should I do for Ari? I need to do something nice for my wife tomorrow because I don't have to stream. What should I do for my wife? What if I get her a DraftKings account? What if I sign her up for a DraftKings account? With one of the promos. And then she gets rich easily. Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Get her a Bored Ape. Babe, like, remember back in 2021 when someone unironically, like, they got married and instead of buying a house, the guy took all their savings and dumped it into Bored Apes or something? So there was like some crazy shit happening where people were... Hey, babe.
Sorry, I need your phone.
Oh, I actually think I might have left it out there.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Yeah, I don't think I have it in here. Okay. Let's change this. And let's open up House MD. The fucking finale we've been building towards. House started this season by getting cured. Finally losing his addiction to Vicodin. And the entire season he has not relapsed. But he's gotten more and more and more unhinged. Drinking, outbursts, anger. And now we are on season 6, episode 22, entitled Help Me. Entitled Help Me. May 26, 2010. When the #1 song was... Okay, it was still Oh My God by Usher. But I'm going to play the second most. Just so we can all enjoy it.
I'ma be making all them deals you wanna do. I'ma be up in